Welcome to Pilates with Julie. Today we are going to work on a push-up progression sequence. So push-ups can be a very challenging exercise for many of us, especially as we get older if we haven't really worked on keeping up some of that upper body strength, but can be a super effective way of strengthening our upper body. So I want to encourage you to just start small with me and slowly build. And this can be something that you can work on maybe a couple times a week to help slowly increase the strength of your shoulders. If you do have any shoulder injuries or pain in your shoulders, you might want to just sort of work on some really basic stability work with your shoulders before you progress into this, or maybe just start with the very beginning part of this video and then slowly build on it. So the first thing I want to talk with you about is stability of the shoulder girdle area, the whole shoulder complex. Also, I should mention that we're going to be using either a chair or maybe even a counter, something that's kind of high up, maybe the back of your couch to start our progression with, and then slowly work our way down. So a really important part of push-ups is learning how to stabilize your whole shoulder girdle area. And oftentimes what I'll see is people going into a push-up and they really collapse into their shoulder blades. So let's quickly explore some of the movements of your shoulder. So I want you just to take your arms out in front of you. Your hands are about chest height. And I want you just to start to move the shoulder blades forward. This is a movement called protraction. And then I want you to bring your shoulder blades back towards each other into a position called retraction. So we're going to inhale forward into protraction and exhale backwards into retraction. I'm just going to come a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about. So shoulder blades are coming forward. Shoulder blades are drawing back. Maybe I'll show you from behind. Shoulder blades forward and shoulder blades back. So we want to avoid elevating the shoulders when we do this, right? We want to keep that nice softness away from your ears. So let's try that a few more times. Shoulder blades forward and shoulder blades back. Shoulder blades forward and shoulder blades back. Find a neutral position, and this is where we want our shoulder joint to be. Lower your arms down. So some things I want you to kind of think about here is if that is a movement that you've never really explored, or you are kind of finding that your shoulders, even just doing that, are challenged, so you might want to just add some little light hand weights and try the same thing. Adding some resistance can actually increase the stability and the strength of those muscles that stabilize your shoulders. So then what we're going to do is we're going to come down with our hands on either a chair, the back of the couch. You could even start with your hands up on a wall. And you're just going to step back a little bit and try and create kind of a long plank with your body. So you're going to connect into your glutes, your muscles in your butt, connect into your core, and then put your hands onto the back of a chair or couch or onto your counter. And we're going to see if we can try and do those same movements we just did with our shoulders. So now with this one, I'm going to actually get you to start with retraction. So what's going to happen here is your shoulder blades are just going to come together. So you're not like slouching forward. It's just the shoulder blades coming together in the back. And then I want you to think about pushing your hands gently into the chair or the counter and allowing your shoulder blades to come forward. Shoulder blades coming back together. Shoulder blades coming forward. So this is adding a little resistance. So we're going to call this a shoulder blade push-up. Okay. So this can be something that you can work on to strengthen the stability muscles of the shoulder girdle. So now you can try it in this position, and then you could come down onto all fours and try the same thing here. Shoulder blades together, neutral, and apart. So just getting those shoulder blades moving might be where you're going to start right now. So if this is feeling challenging, then that's how you're going to actually start the movement and just focus on that. And then you'll come back and join us for these next ones. So coming back to your chair or your counter, we want to have those shoulders soft away from the ear. And if you want to find your neutral position, you can draw your shoulder blades together, move them apart, and then come to a center point. So now we're going to try and target our tricep muscles. So with this first move, we're going to keep our elbows kind of wide. Okay, so as you come down, I want you to bend your elbows and just bring them down a little bit at an angle to your body and try and bring your chest to the chair and then push back up. So here's something I want you to try and avoid is folding at the hip. Ideally, we've got your glutes on and we're creating a nice long plank, and you're going to bend at the elbow and then push up. Now, if this just feels like your shoulders are collapsing and this is really hard to do, then you are going to just release your glutes and you're just going to tip your body forward and then back up. I call this tippy bird, tipping forward and back up. It's not really my name. I'm pretty sure I heard that from someone else. Tip forward and back up. So that's already starting to work those triceps. Hopefully you're feeling those guys are working. And if these guys are really weak, then maybe grab some little hand weights and just strengthen those triceps a little bit and then come back and try this. So now we can progress and come back down into our all fours position, and we can try that tippy bird move here as well. So just think about your whole torso staying strong. You're going to tip forward and then push up. Keep the shoulder blades nice and strong. Notice if you start to feel like you're collapsing, and try and keep that kind of strong feeling in your armpit. So elbows to the side and back up. Let me come so you can see face on that my elbows aren't going straight out. They're not going straight back, kind of halfway in between. Tip forward and up. You got it. Forward and up. So now the next progression of this is actually a knee push-up. So let me move my chair out of the way. So this is the push-up I kind of grew up doing, and to be honest, is the one that I mostly stick with. I'm not all that great. I do have an old injury to my shoulder, so I'm not all that great of doing a full push-up. So with this one, we're going to have our plank position from our knees, our hips to our shoulders. And we want to stay nice and strong here as we slowly lower down. Now, it doesn't have to be super far, and then come back up. Lowering down and coming back up. So as we get stronger, you're going to start to come down a little further. I'm feeling the shake already, guys. Lower down and then back up. And one more time down and up. So let's come out of that. So I'm doing this with you today because I need to do it as well. I definitely struggle with some shoulder stability issues and find these very challenging. And as women get older, many of us end up with weak shoulders and even frozen shoulders. So if this is causing any discomfort in your shoulder to come down to this, then you're going to stay back up at the chair. So I want to do one more little progression here. And instead of having your arms come out to the side, now what we're going to do is tuck our elbows in and try and do a tricep push-up with our arms in a little closer. Okay, so let's come back to our plank position, standing nice and tall. And this time, instead of the eye of your elbow facing in, so that's this guy here, creating that side bend, I now want you to have the eye of the elbow facing a little more forward. We're not locking the elbows out, but they're a little more forward. All right, so we're finding our plank position, or maybe you're up against a wall. You could be up against a wall and coming in. That's going to actually be a great place for some of you to start. So the eyes of those elbows are kind of facing not completely forward, but sort of at a bit of an angle in. And you're going to keep your elbows a little closer into your side and then press up. Inhale down and exhale, press up. Keep those shoulders nice and strong. Inhale down and exhale back up. Let's do 3 more. 2. So we're not like tightly keeping our arms in by our side, but they're definitely closer in than they were. And last one. So that might be a great place for some of you to end and then go into a nice little stretch. But maybe you want to just come down and try this little progression on the floor on all fours and see how you do here. Okay, so tippy bird. So remember the eye of the elbow is facing more forward. So now elbows are coming in and we're lifting back up. Lower down and back up. So it's kind of like a bow, I suppose. We're lowering down and back up, but envision a little bird tipping down into the water. And last one. All right, and so now we're going to see if we can come into that knee plank. And I'm hoping I can do this today with you. Okay, so glutes on, abs on, and we're just going to bring our elbows in and then push up. I'm not going very far, but that's okay. Lower down, press equally into both hands, maybe 2 more. Down and up. Keep those shoulders strong. If this is not feeling great, come out of it. You're going to work up to this and 1 more time down and up. So now I'm going to get you to come back to your counter or your chair, and we're going to do a nice little shoulder stretch because that feels like things have really warmed up, but they're feeling like they need a stretch. So step back a little further and just soften your knees, hinge forward, and stretch out underneath those shoulders. Let's lift out of it and lower back down. And again, lift out of it and lower down. 2 more times up and out. And 1 more time, lifting up and out. All right, so there's your push-up progression. I hope you enjoyed that. Feel free to just keep coming back and building on this by repeating it a couple times a week, or break down just the segment that you need to be working on. So I would love to hear your comments below. Like this video, share it with your friends, make sure you've subscribed. And to create a full workout, just go back and add in a couple other videos. So looking forward to working with you again. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.